For decades, the Accord has built a reputation for being one of the smartest, most reliable cars on the road. From its smooth engines to its balanced design, this car was made to handle daily driving and long-term ownership with ease. But there is more to the Accord than meets the eye. Whether you are buying one for the first time or already own one, knowing what really matters can save you money, time, and headaches. In this video, we will break down everything you need to know about the Honda Accord, the good, the overlooked, and what truly makes it stand out. So stay with me, because by the end, you will understand why the Accord remains a favorite year after year. The Honda Accord didn't start out as the icon we know today. In fact, when Honda first entered the American market in the late 1960s and early 1970s, it was still proving itself. Most people knew Honda for motorcycles and tiny economy cars like the Civic, reliable but not exactly aspirational, and that would change quickly. In 1976, Honda introduced the Accord to the world. At the time, the American car market was in a strange place. Fuel prices were climbing, emissions regulations were tightening, and buyers were starting to care less about size and more about efficiency. The Accord arrived at the perfect moment. It was compact, practical, fuel-efficient, and most importantly, well-built. The first-generation Accord was a humble car by today's standards. It came as a two-door hatchback, powered by a small four-cylinder engine, and focused entirely on simplicity. But even then, Honda's priorities were clear. The Accord was easy to drive, easy to maintain, and surprisingly refined for its size. While competitors felt disposable, the Accord felt thoughtfully engineered. Just a year later, Honda added a four-door sedan. That decision alone helped shape the Accord's future. Americans loved sedans, and Honda understood that if it wanted to grow, it had to adapt to local tastes. This ability to evolve without losing its identity became one of the Accord's greatest strengths. By the early 1980s, the Accord had already gained a reputation for reliability. Owners noticed that these cars simply kept going. Oil changes, basic maintenance, and the Accord would reward you with years of dependable service. This was not common at the time. Many cars struggled past 100,000 miles. The Accord made that milestone feel normal. The second-generation Accord, introduced in 1982, marked a major shift. The car grew in size, gained more interior space, and became more comfortable overall. Honda also introduced better sound insulation, improved suspension tuning, and more advanced engineering. This wasn't just an economy car anymore. It was becoming a true family sedan. Another key moment came when Honda began producing the Accord in the United States. In 1982, the Accord became the first Japanese car manufactured in America. This move not only reduced costs, but also helped Honda fine-tune the Accord specifically for American drivers. It was a bold step, and it paid off. By the mid-1980s, the Accord was winning. Sales climbed rapidly, and the Accord consistently ranked among the best-selling cars in the country. Buyers trusted it, mechanics respected it, and competitors took notice. The late 1980s and early 1990s are often considered a golden era for the Honda Accord. The third and fourth generations refined everything that made the car successful. The design became cleaner and more aerodynamic. Engines became more powerful while remaining efficient. Interiors improved with better materials and smarter layouts. Honda also began experimenting more during this period. Fuel injection became standard. Anti-lock brakes were introduced. Suspension geometry was improved for better handling. The Accord was genuinely enjoyable to drive. This is where the Accord truly separated itself from the pack. While many mid-size sedans focused only on comfort, the Accord struck a balance. It handled well, felt stable at highway speeds, and responded predictably to driver input. You didn't have to be a car enthusiast to appreciate it, but if you were, the Accord quietly earned your respect. The engines deserve special attention here. Honda's four-cylinder engines became legendary for their durability. With proper maintenance, it wasn't unusual to see Accords with 200,000 miles still running smoothly. Timing belts, valve adjustments, and routine care were the main requirements. Skip maintenance, and problems appeared. Take care of it, and the Accord lasted. In the 1990s, Honda introduced one of its most important technologies, VTEC, or variable valve timing and lift electronic control. While the concept sounds complex, the idea was to combine fuel efficiency at low speeds with strong performance at higher RPMs. VTEC gave the Accord a split personality in the best way possible. Around town, it was calm and economical. Push the engine harder, and it came alive. This technology helped Honda maintain efficiency without sacrificing power, something few competitors could match at the time. The Accord also began offering V6 engines, expanding its appeal. For buyers who wanted more power and smoother acceleration, the V6 Accord delivered. It wasn't a sports car, but it offered confident highway passing and a more premium driving feel. By the end of the 1990s, the Accord had become a benchmark. Other automakers didn't just compete against it, they measured themselves against it. If a new mid-size sedan wasn't as good as an Accord, it wasn't good enough. The early 2000s brought significant changes. The Accord grew larger, more refined, and more technologically advanced. Safety features improved dramatically, with side airbags, improved crash structures, and better braking systems becoming standard or widely available. Interior quality also took a step forward. Soft touch materials, improved seat comfort, and better sound systems made the Accord feel closer to entry-level luxury than basic transportation. Honda understood that its buyers were aging, and it adjusted accordingly. However, this era also introduced some challenges. Automatic transmissions in certain V6 models developed reliability issues. While not universal, these problems affected Honda's otherwise strong reputation. To Honda's credit, many of these issues were addressed through extended warranties and design improvements in later years. Despite these hiccups, the Accord remained a top seller because the overall package still worked. The engines were strong, fuel economy was competitive, and ownership costs remained low. Even when problems occurred, repairs were usually straightforward and affordable compared to many rivals. As the 2000s progressed, the Accord's design became more conservative. Honda prioritized broad appeal, focusing on comfort, interior space, and ease of use. Some enthusiasts criticized this approach, arguing that the Accord had lost some of its sporty edge. But sales told a different story. Families, commuters, and long-term owners appreciated the Accord's predictability. Everything worked the way it should. Controls were intuitive. Visibility was excellent. Maintenance schedules were reasonable. One of the most important reasons the Accord remains relevant is longevity. Properly maintained Accords regularly reach 250,000 to 300,000 miles. Taxi fleets, delivery drivers, and high-mileage commuters have proven it over decades. That longevity doesn't come from luck. It comes from consistent engineering philosophy. Honda designs engines to operate efficiently without unnecessary stress. Cooling systems are robust. Transmissions, when properly maintained, last. Suspension components are designed for real-world roads, not just smooth test tracks. Of course, maintenance matters. Oil changes, transmission fluid services, timing belt replacements on older models, and suspension upkeep are essential. The Accord rewards owners who follow the schedule and punishes those who ignore it. As the automotive world changed, so did the Accord. Emissions regulations, fuel economy standards, and buyer expectations forced constant adaptation. Honda responded by refining engines, improving aerodynamics, and later introducing hybrid versions of the Accord. The Accord Hybrid deserves special mention. Unlike early hybrids that sacrificed performance, Honda focused on balance. The Accord Hybrid delivers excellent fuel economy while maintaining smooth acceleration and a familiar driving feel. For many buyers, it offers the best of both worlds. By this point, the Accord wasn't just competing in the midsize sedan segment, it was defining it. Even as SUVs and crossovers grew in popularity, the Accord maintained strong sales by offering what many drivers still wanted: a comfortable, efficient, reliable sedan that simply works. By the time the 2010s arrived, the Honda Accord had already proven everything it needed to prove. It was reliable, practical, efficient, and widely respected. The challenge Honda now faced was relevance. Buyer preferences were shifting. SUVs and crossovers were gaining popularity. Technology expectations were rising. And drivers wanted more than just a good car. They wanted connectivity, safety, and personality. Honda responded by rethinking what the Accord needed to be. The 8th generation Accord leaned heavily into comfort and space. It became one of the largest cars in the mid-size sedan category, offering generous rear legroom and a spacious trunk. This made it particularly appealing to families and long-distance commuters. The ride was smooth, the cabin was quiet, and the controls remained refreshingly intuitive. But Honda was paying attention. While buyers appreciated space, they didn't want the Accord to feel bloated. Feedback mattered, and Honda took it seriously going into the next redesign. The 9th generation Accord was a complete game-changer in the automobile industry. Instead of continuing to grow, Honda made a bold decision. It made the Accord slightly smaller and lighter. This was about efficiency and driving feel. Using higher-strength steel and improved engineering, Honda reduced weight while increasing structural rigidity. The result was a car that felt more responsive, more efficient, and more modern without sacrificing comfort. This generation also saw major improvements in fuel economy. 4-cylinder engines became even more efficient, and V6 models balanced power with respectable mileage. Honda also began introducing continuously variable transmissions more widely, particularly on 4-cylinder models. CVTs were controversial at first. Some drivers disliked the feel, and early examples from various manufacturers had reliability concerns. Honda refined its CVT design carefully, focusing on durability and smooth operation. Over time, Honda's CVTs earned a better reputation than many competitors, especially when maintained properly. As smartphones became essential to daily life, Honda recognized that technology could no longer be optional. The Accord began offering advanced infotainment systems, touchscreen displays, Bluetooth connectivity, and later Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Early systems weren't perfect. Some users found menus confusing or responsiveness lacking. Honda addressed this through updates and refinements, gradually improving usability with each model year. Driver assistance features also became more prominent. Honda Sensing was introduced and expanded. Features like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, forward collision warning, and automatic emergency braking became standard or widely available. This was a massive change in the history of Honda Accord. Safety technology that once belonged to luxury cars was now accessible to everyday buyers. The Accord became not just reliable in a mechanical sense, but also proactive in protecting its occupants. Perhaps the most significant change came with the 10th generation Accord. Honda made a surprising move by discontinuing the V6 engine entirely. In its place came turbocharged 4-cylinder engines. This decision raised eyebrows. For years, the V6 Accord had been known for smooth power and strong acceleration. Removing it felt risky, but Honda had a plan. The new turbo engines delivered impressive torque at lower RPMs, making the car feel quicker in everyday driving. The 1.5-liter turbo focused on efficiency, while the 2.0-liter turbo derived from the Civic Type R's engine offered serious performance. Paired with a 10-speed automatic or a rare manual transmission, the 2.0T Accord became one of the most engaging sedans in its class. This generation also brought a dramatic design shift. The Accord looked longer, lower, and wider. The fastback-inspired profile, wide stance, and sharp lines gave it a more aggressive presence. Honda clearly wanted the Accord to feel desirable again. Inside, the cabin design became cleaner and more upscale. Physical controls returned where touch-only interfaces had frustrated users. Materials improved, layout was intuitive, and visibility remained excellent. While hybrids had existed in the Accord lineup before, the latest Accord hybrid finally felt fully realized. Honda refined its two-motor hybrid system to deliver smooth power delivery and exceptional fuel economy without sacrificing driving comfort. Unlike some hybrids that feel disconnected or sluggish, the Accord hybrid maintains a natural driving feel. Acceleration is smooth, transitions between electric and gas power are seamless, and fuel economy often exceeds expectations in real-world driving. For many owners, the hybrid version represents the Accord at its best. Quiet, efficient, comfortable, and dependable. It appeals to drivers who want lower fuel costs without changing their driving habits. Overall, no car is perfect, and the Accord is no exception. Over the years, certain issues have appeared more frequently than others. Some turbocharged models have experienced fuel dilution concerns, particularly in cold climates. Honda addressed this through software updates and design improvements, and later models show fewer complaints. Infotainment glitches have occurred, especially in early implementations of touchscreen systems. While rarely serious, they can be frustrating. Suspension components like bushings and control arms wear over time, particularly on higher mileage vehicles. These are normal wear items and relatively affordable to repair. The key takeaway is that most Accord issues are manageable, well documented, and far less severe than those seen in many competitors.